Just do the usual one. I'm not doing a lot of editing on this. If anything, I'll probably just fucking leave all this in, to be honest. Welcome everyone to We Talk Games podcast. Today it's a special one because we've gathered here today to do an off the cuff kind of episode because we've actually all been very busy, haven't we, boys? We may as well introduce ourselves.
I'm Jim, aka Hetro691. Never dropping that.
No,
it's just Bob as usual.
Aye, and as usual, I'm here, Mark,
The host.
the so-called host. This intro probably won't get used because I'm not happy with this already. But yeah, so instead of it doing the second part to what will probably end up being a multi-part Resident Evil, we've actually been very, very busy. I've got a new job, so I've been switching between that. Obviously, yourselves, you have been working a lot as well.
Yeah, I've been snowed under at work, and Jimbo's been finishing his uni course,
Studying and working and sinking a lot of hours into a certain game.
Aye, which we'll talk about. But yeah, we are still doing the Resident Evils. We have been playing them, but we thought we'd just do a wee quick, pretty much unedited, rough podcast like this, just talking about everything else we've been playing in the video gaming world. So let's get to it.
Yeah, so you might as well get out of the way, Jim, aka Hetro, whatever. You want to know what game have you played the most?
I have been playing chess.
Aye.
No, Dark Souls 2. I actually played it a bit before the podcast, and I've only really had one save. I've tried about with another one, but I've started New Game Plus second time now, and I think I'm 150 hours into it.
150, fucking hell. That's like Elder Scrolls type hours.
Yep. I actually bought the game for my little brother's birthday, and he hasn't really.
You total Homer Simpson down. It's like, oh, there's a bowling ball match.
No, I've never played any of the Souls games. Never before the little brother's birthday. I'd never played. I had no interest in playing this one either. Just he kept banging on a He imported Demon Souls when it first came out.
Aye.
Watched him play it, looked shit. Got Dark Souls 2, watched him play it, looked shit.
You were too busy with FM at those times.
Probably FM or Final Fantasy, something like that, yeah.
Some piece of shit.
And like the sax man from the Enchanted Arms.
Oh god.
Yeah, I enjoyed that, but just getting to it. I was bored one day, didn't have anything to study, and just decided that I would get in and see what all the fuss was about. Played it for about an hour. I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
How did you just sit yourself playing it, or was like Adam there kind of telling you?
I seen Adam play. He'd played it for about 3 hours or something the night before.
Aye.
And I was like, nah. I was like, it doesn't look good. He's like, you have to play it to understand. And I seen him do bits and bobs. I was like, the graphics are shite. Combat looks shite. All you do is run in a circle with a stupid shield, and that's your whack. Then he's like, it's not really. But nowadays I've sussed it, and it pretty much is just that circle strafe. But so I was like, I put it in and I played it for the first hour, and you can go multiple ways to get it. Suppose you can do that in the second. Dark Souls one.
So I haven't played the second one yet, but I played Dark Souls, the first one, and I played Demon Souls. But like the first Dark Souls, you have your kind of starting area. You have your tutorial section, but once you get into the actual proper game, it's kind of open to you, and you can go. There's 3 particular ways you can go, and the first way you think you're supposed to go, and that's down towards the skeletons. You think that's where you're to go, and all you're doing is getting fucking bummed by skeletons, and you're just wondering. It's like, I know this game is supposed to be hard, but come on, the fuck. Then you realise, no, that's not the first way you go. The game almost leads you to believe that you have to go that way though. Like, it's kind of like, oh, that's the way you go, and it's not at all.
So I decided, so it's like you go through and get into the tutorial area, and it's like straight away you see when you go through the fog and you see these two big, well, you see one massive fucking hippo, and you're like, I can do that, no problem.
Hippo?
It's like a Cyclops hippo. This isn't like after you create your character and stuff.
Does that actually look like a hippo?
It looks like a big hippo.
Cool. It's just it's
On the beach.
character like that.
And
On
it's
Dark
like-
Souls 1.
And any time I've seen anybody play Dark Souls, like Adam's always like lock on, run behind.
Try and get
Right, so
backstab.
he went down to the beach, locked onto it, went behind it, and the thing does a fucking falls to its back and crushes you. And I was like, right, I'll go to the front. So I run down, go to the front, and next thing out of nowhere, this other fucking hippo comes out. There's another hippo hiding in the fucking corner, and it smashes your cunt in. And you're like, really? This is supposed to be fun? I was like, leave it, ignore it. Went through a tutorial, went out to Majula, and they kept seeing things on the ground that was like messages, and all it was saying praise the sun. No idea what it meant.
That's from the first one. That
I understand it now, but the time
meme's kind of getting run into the ground already.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, it's a character in the first game, but it's like you come across and he's
Solaris or something.
Knight Solaris, and it's like, but apparently in the second game it features kind of like his whole praise the sun type thing features kind of heavy.
But so it's like that. Then you run to the bonfire. You get like, you meet a couple of NPCs, you talk to them. One gives you a mission to go get a key to open his shop, so you can go in and he's a blacksmith. He's put his key, he's put his stuff inside it, but somebody's came along and locked it. So he's like, get my key. And
But surely he's a blacksmith, he'd be able to.
you can clearly, no problem, climb through the window.
Aye.
The building's fallen to fuck. You can get in it, no problem. So it's like, so I was like, after that, like, I explored a wee bit, and I was like, oh well, must go this way. Down a set of stairs, put a couple of levers down in, and you come out of this gap, and it's just like an old path, and it's all broken. And I was like, okay, I'll go down, and there's this. In the distance, all you can see is a big tower, another tower, and there's a big knight. I was like, can't be that hard. I go down, and I stab it, and once one hit kills me, I'm like, okay, I'll try it. And I remember Adam saying you just get it's all just learning patterns. Learn its patterns. So I was like, okay, it does 3 swipes, try and get behind it, but I'm taking more or less 0 damage off the thing, and all I'm doing is getting killed. So I was like, well, I'll just run past them, go up, and there's another one, then there's another one, then there's 3 stuck. Then there's 3 of them. Then you go down another path, there's another one, then there's a fog gate. At this time I was like, I must have been there, like, I think I saved up like 1,000 souls. I was like, that's a lot of souls, man. kept getting killed, and I lost 1,000 souls. I was like, oh, so angry. Then I gave up that day. I just stopped playing it after the one. I was like, I'll turn it off, I'm going out.
I did like, what made you go back? Because that's usually that is a sign that you're playing that game.
Adam told me there is another way to go. I was like, alright, I'll have a look. And I went up, and it took me to another place, but it was blocked off by a petrified woman. She was stone, and I didn't have a branch of yore to unpetrify her, so I had to go all the way back. Then there was another side path, went down there and ended up going to another place, and it was just little hollows you beat, and you could hit them. It was like 3 hits at the first,
so these
3
are
or
kind
4
of like
hits. Instead of maybe 10, 15 with the other ones.
It done what it done in the first game. It's like the less than obvious way. It's actually the way you're supposed to go.
So it's that way. Then you get to I went to my first boss, and supposedly it's the easiest boss ever, but I'd never played a Soul game before. And it killed me maybe 20 times. And I was texting Bob, and I was texting Adam at the time, like, this guy's beat me so many times. I keep trying to level up, because that's the thing, you can't, like, I hate the word farm. I call it grinding. You can't grind.
Because they don't respawn after.
Yeah, so I just my usual JRPG thing is just grind the fuck out of it, become OP and smash everything. Grind, have nobody spawn. Sweet, up to the top, grind. Nobody came back. Another bit, grind. Got all my levels, all my souls, went into it, and it's still done me in. But I kept locking. You can obviously lock on, but I was locking on to his chest, and you're supposed to, at first, you don't have to lock on anymore and all that, but you're supposed to just keep going through his legs and hit his ankles. But I was locked on, and I was just swing, and half the time wasn't hitting him. Then when he gets to about 50% health, he decides he's going to rip his arm off.
He starts beating you with his own
arm, and it's like, you think you've got this pattern down, And it's like he's got 3. It's not, honestly, it's like he's one of the easiest bosses ever.
You know that now, but at the time you're probably like fucking hell.
It's like, because you get to 50%, you'll think, yeah. The next thing you know, it's like it's just stand still. You're like whacking him away, taking this little slither of health away. Then he takes his arm off and just one shots you.
Oh, he's got an arm off.
God, and I didn't know you couldn't summon people if you weren't human.
Yeah.
I was
like, to help you.
Yeah, so I was like that. I thought you could get people in the game, and I just could not see any soapstone. I was like, this is nonsense. I hate this game. Then I eventually beat him. Text him. I've just beat him. I'm like, yeah.
You beat the easiest boss in the game.
Then it's like up to another phase, and it's just a great game. It just from as soon as I beat that first boss, I was like,
it's so weird you starting at Dark Souls 2 though. Like, because I've heard
the first 2 looked rubbish.
But it's weird so late in the game. Maybe there's like, I'm saying that, I think there's a lot more advertisement behind Dark Souls 2.
I've been around Glasgow and where I worked in Clydebank. It was a lot of publicity this time. Even had certain shops had actual full-sized knights in their windows.
Aye.
So they must have cost us. Like, you used to see Lara Croft ones or Solid Snake ones, but it was the actual big massive one standing on top of a rock.
Because I mean, obviously you're talking about Knight Slayer, whatever the fuck is, Praise the Sun guy, and I'm just wondering because if I remember right, I'm not going to spoil any Dark Souls games, although I don't. The story's pretty fucking weird and muddled anyway. But Dark Souls 1, I could be getting it confused with Demon Souls. Dark Souls 1 ends in a, for that character that you play as, ends in a fairly definitive way. So it makes me think, oh, how did they, is it a continuation? Well, it can be because you create a character again. I don't know. Obviously it doesn't really matter because it's not really about the story. The story is you playing the game, and your wee story is about fucking this is what I done to beat this boss. And
yeah, cause it was like another boss. It was like Adam was watching me play, and I went in and I went through the fog, and it comes up, is it Dragon Rider he's called? Dragon Rider or Dragon Slayer, I think it's all Dragon Rider. And he comes through and he's like, he's in Dark Souls 1. What is it? I don't know who he is. He's like, that's Ornstein. He's like, his armour's grey now, it's silver armour, but in the first one it was gold, and he had another another guy called Smo or something.
Two of them were absolute dicks.
He's like that's Ornstein. And you read his soul and it tells you, it's like, oh, he was a great person, he'd done this and done that, and
then some bam came and killed him and his mate.
Pretty much, but then due to I've been yet again, I'm addicted to it, so I'm listening to like lore podcasts about it.
Aye.
Not that I'm not really interested in the lore, it's just I like podcasts, I think.
No, but there's like, because I've seen there's a dude, I think they actually hired him to do some PR.
Epic Name Bro.
That's the one.
Yeah,
I used to watch his videos of like Demon Souls, and because he done like tip videos and all that, obviously showing you how to best way to get this and that. But he does a lot of lore videos, and it's apparently it's quite.
You say it's like lore videos, but it's really what I've seen of him. I'm not bad mouthing the chap. He's done well, obviously, because he wrote, I think, the strategy guide. The beginning of it was the tutorial bit. Things be switched or something. I can't think of the name of the place, but he wrote all of that. But you seen his lore videos. It's just really reading items. Right,
I thought I was going to say like a character sheet.
No, it's just like more or less that's what it's like. You pick up like an old rusted coin, and all he seems to do is read the old rusted coin. It's like, this item was found here, it could have been this, and this is my opinion on it.
Right then, and because I noticed the ones that I had watched on what Dark Souls is like, so I think that's in reference to, and it's obviously you have to kind of fill in your the blanks there, which is a good and bad thing. I don't like everything being put out plainly flat.
If you do that, then obviously there's people go, well, that's wrong because there's a loophole there, that never happened. Then you
Zelda timeline.
Oh, that's the thing.
Pretty
about,
much, yeah.
That's the thing about Ornstein though. It's like, is it, or does it just go old? That now, or is it? Or was the one in the first Dark Souls about? Was it not just a hologram or a thing like that?
Well, Dark Souls, I mean, I never ever, like, it probably gets easily explained within like the first 2 seconds of Dark Souls, but you never really get explained, like, so you're dead, right? but the world is dying or something, and everybody's hollow, and souls are like you can farm souls and all this now, and I always thought that was a kind of the one lore thing I got, and I thought that's kind of interesting because I didn't understand it while playing the game, Dark Souls 1, why rats dropped souls every so often. I was like, that doesn't make sense. I'm killing fucking like ex-human beings and they're not dropping souls really every so often, but rats are quite good for farming souls. And it's like, well, actually they eat the dead bodies, so if they eat enough of the dead bodies they actually get it's a human soul, so when you kill them they drop. And I thought that's actually kind of thought out, like that's an interesting way of doing it. But no, I still haven't played Dark Souls 2.
You can get I've got it on PC as well. I'd advise PC. You can get it on Shop 2, might as well say get it Shop 2.
Key.
It's cheaper to get Shop 2. It's 20 quid on Shop 2 case disc, whereas Steam it's 40 quid.
Fuck
for a non-physical, for a digital copy.
For a digital copy, $39.99, or you can wait 2 days.
For a physical copy.
I mean, and it looks, the case is pretty sweet. Yeah. And also, I was always like, collector's editions are shit. I've seen the figures, and yeah, they look cool. Figures look cool. Have you seen the Japanese collector's edition?
I have seen it. Yeah,
fucking sick. It's miniature weapons.
Oh yeah, I have seen this.
It's like the miniature shield. I think I've only seen quick photos of it, but it looks like the Pursuer's shield. I
don't know what that is. I'll just nod and go, yeah.
It's really good.
No, it's not the fact that James has been playing Dark Souls so much, but anytime you go see James, he is sitting watching. If he's not playing it, he's watching YouTube videos, and it's not one YouTube video, it's like a 5-hour long one. And he's going, yeah, this is a speed run, this guy's doing it so quickly. And it's like, have you watched 5 hours of this rather than actually playing the game for yourself? Yeah, of course I have.
No, it was the only one I watched. It was a 5-hour speed run because it was co-op and they wanted to kill every single boss. And there's like 30 odd bosses.
Yeah, but that's
bosses, fucking hell.
There's a thing of like going, I've played the game for 150 hours, but I probably assume he's probably watched at least another 150 hours of people playing Dark Souls rather than him playing it himself.
No, I watched Northern Lion. I think he's funny. Yeah, I can't play it. I watched his first playthrough of it on the Xbox, and he's doing one now, so now he's a cleric. And he's doing it on his PC. It is a lot better on PC.
Maybe a slight tangent, but about watching people play games. I don't know if anyone's seen it, but I watched the fastest speedrun ever of Zelda on the N64, the Ocarina of Time. I watched a guy complete it in under 20 minutes. I think it was 18 minutes he completed the game in.
Glitch.
It's glitches, but it's really, really, really cool. Some things like I think people find out how to do it by actually looking at the game's code and then seeing, there's going to be a glitch here, there's going to be something. So one of the bits, the guy has like a big Dooku stick and hits it against a tomb, and it just seems to go backwards and drop down. It's like it takes him out this whole level, drops him down, and there's a part as well where he's completed one part of the missions where you have to throw the chickens to get the stuff. So he does that, I think, and then he has to go back to the main where you start off. So instead of running back there, it puts start save, and literally as soon as the game saves, it resets his console.
What?
Because it's quicker to restart the actual game than it is to actually run back to that place.
Holy shit.
So he does it all, and he's like, I wish I hadn't fucked up this one bit where you're using your shield to battle away the Dooku nuts coming at you. So he's doing that, and he goes, fucking fuck that up. He's raging at himself, and he's like, I'm not going to do it now. But then it absolutely canes the game, and like, he's like, it would have been so much quicker, I hadn't fucked that up. It's like, Jesus.
See, when you watch speedruns, see the ones where, like, you see this on Twitch a lot, and they've got an actual thing on the right.
This guy had.
And it's got a counter for each section.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've shaved like 2 seconds off my time. You're watching it going like, fucking hell, man. I remember playing, we discussed that a wee bit in the Resi podcast, but like playing Resi and you're going, I completed it in under 2.5 hours or something for Resi 2.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, but I don't think I could sit and play a game like that. I'd almost like too much pressure, because I'd just be like fucking hammered.
That's what that guy said as well, though. It's like he says, it's like he was so angry at himself. I'm sorry, I can't remember the guy's name, but we'll probably find it and try to stick it in the description somewhere. About this, and he's like, I'm so annoyed. This is like relaxed muscle mass. that I'm doing this. This is the whole reason. I knew I should have done this for over and over and over. And I was like, Jesus.
Muscle memory.
Sorry, muscle memory.
Muscle mass.
He was
hench as fuck.
He just his one arm playing it, and he was just going on about it. And I was like, this guy actually, I think he says he sits and grinds bits over and over, so he doesn't get it wrong. But he missed out so much of the game because there's so much you can glitch out of it. He didn't have to wear any special boots, put on any red robes, blue robes or anything. He just basically completed it as a little Link.
Because I think I told you a while back about I was watching a Resident Evil 3 speedrun. The guy was having a crafty fag. So the guy had, I'll try to explain it. So on the camera, the top left camera, what most people do is like a wee camera off themselves and you get the game, and then you had the right hand side bar was his times. And see during each kind of like door loading scene, because he couldn't skip it, he would quickly pull up these blinds that were to his left, go like that. There'd be a fag sat half on the window sill, half not, and he'd just be like the fucking blinds back down, then start playing. So every time he went through a door, he done this. So this was like, certain sections of the game, it was like a door, short hallway because he's running through everything, door. So it'd be like run. And I'm like, fucking hell. It's like, not only is it impressive how quick he's doing with this game, he's having a crafty fag the whole time.
Cigarette to American listeners, if there's any out there. He's not having a wee quickie.
I just don't know, like, hello sailor.
There's no glory hole he's blown.
It's really weird as well, the fact that I watched that guy play it and he's using the Japanese version as well, because the Japanese version has shorter text.
Oh, so yeah.
So obviously I was like, wow, this guy must be Japanese as well. It's like, if he's playing it, he must be relentless. Like, turns out he was like some American or English guy playing it. I was like, so what? I was thinking to myself, why are they doing that then? And then I read up about it and it said that the game has less characters if you play the Japanese version, so they do everything to get it so quickly. And I think the first maybe 5-6 minutes of the game is actually an intro. So
is there like maybe like less of a tutorial for the Japanese?
No, it's just the text is shorter. Like, instead of saying obviously Japanese characters they can spell out more with those characters than having to have like pages of English text. So really, really cool. And also that made me watch a guy doing a speedrun of Super Mario 64, collecting 120 stars or 22 stars, isn't it?
What was his time?
Oh god, and he was glitching as well. But it was amazing. Really, really quick. I think it was maybe an hour.
Is there any like proper speedruns that don't use like pretty major glitches? Because I've seen, this kind of brings me to the game I've been playing. I've just completed there this afternoon again for the second time, Outlast. And there's people do speedruns of that, because right now on the PS4 you can fucking stream Twitch and all that, and 42 minutes, but I think there was somebody that done it in 38 minutes, but that's glitching, literally glitching right through a level, and you completely skip like a whole section of the game.
That's what they say about that one though, is that they're not actually using tool assisted, you're actually using the proper game, you're not doing a tool assisted run, so people still count it as an official speedrun. But I think
I understand that, yeah.
But if you were to actually go through the game and collect 120 stars in Super Mario without glitching anything, it would probably take you quite a while. Same with Zelda, if you had to go through that and do every single thing. I know
is Zelda not like a 30+ hour game?
I've never actually completed it.
Didn't want an N64.
I had actually bought it when I had an N64, but I never really wanted the game. I got a line of it off somebody got to. I think
you were busy playing WWF Warzone.
I didn't even know. I think it was more Mario Kart. I didn't even have Super Mario N64 as well, Mario 64, but never even completed that either at the time. It was just GoldenEye, Mario Kart. Those were the two games you had to have, and because I had brothers, it was obviously Let's Play Multiplayer or Lilac Wars.
Loved it.
But I actually got it for the 3DS as well. But like the Ocarina of Time when it came out, and I played that.
Was it any good on that?
I think it was alright. I got to the water temple and kind of gave up on it. I was like, I don't really get this. No, it's a good game. I just don't think it's aged as well as people have said it has.
Well, it's just like fucking GoldenEye. People go as, best game ever, hands down best game. I was like, you played it lately?
I played it not too long ago. I took my 64 to Louise's, my girlfriend's house, and we played it. Well, I played it, she watched, and I was like, it's still a good game, but it just feels so strange controlling it with one analog stick and you're all aiming. It's foreign to you now.
It is. It's completely backwards now.
I had some idiot on a podcast that I don't even know why I listen to this podcast, but he was going on about Shenmue 2. He's like, yeah, you've got if you want to run, you've got to use the D-pad. No, if you've got to walk, you've got to use the D-pad, and if you want to run, you've got to push the trigger, so it feels like you're driving them. I was like, what the fuck do you expect?
Yeah, the game was out over like 12 years ago.
And he's like, I always wanted Shenmue 3, and after playing this, yeah, you don't always get happy, you don't always get what you wish for. The game's rubbish. I was like that. Easy, mate.
Well, I did play Shenmue like not too long ago. I actually streamed it, didn't I?
I watched it. I fucking watched it, man.
It was an awesome game. It's like I did have think going back, no, this isn't going to be as good as I remember it, but I played it and I went, it's still a solid game.
Graphically, it's still alright.
Oh, you canned the graphics. You said the graphics were horrible.
Do you know
the
what?
engine was horrible.
Do you know what's the only thing you can say about it is probably textures. There's no really much texture.
Aye,
but again, it's like a console which has been dead for fucking 15 years.
Like I mean, remember Dreamcast came out before the PS2, and people obviously go back and look at PS2 games going, oh, it's horribly dated. But it's like,
the only console I really go back and think it's horribly dated really is the N64 and the PlayStation.
I always thought the N64 looked ugly as fuck.
But N64 chose polygons, didn't it?
It was just, it always looked big and blocky to me.
The thing is, I see when you go back, like, as much as I've played Final Fantasy 7 over and over and over, it's a fucking horrible game.
The PS1 always looked kind of jaggy and muddy. Like, no, the textures look, I don't know, it kind of looks as if everything's moving all the time, even if it's not. Like, whereas the N64 is just like this big, like, no textures. It's just like, if you're like, it's green, and it'll just be completely green. There'll not be any
Nintendo
detail.
not like, yeah, we've actually skipped a generation because we were so good. We trust this console so much, and we don't need to do a 32-bit console because we've got an N because we brought out 64, and then they just went, okay, your loading time's quicker, but you've probably stayed in the past with using carts.
Yeah, but it was a lot of things. It was like with the Sega Mega Drive, what more about the Super Nintendo, like everything was on, like it was just hardware, but they added a lot of chips onto the cartridges. That's how they were able to do so much to it. It's like
the Super FX chip.
Yeah, whatever Lilac was, and they had another one for like Yoshi's Island or something it was called.
Yeah.
And they had one that was like
Paper Mario as well, I think had one.
Warp and misshape, and it's like,
it was weird because obviously back then that was like the superior console, even though obviously Sega kept, because like, no, we do with Nintendo. And kind of portrayed as if it was more powerful when really in reality it kind of wasn't.
That's the thing though, you don't have to look at it and go, well, what did the N64 have? I'm a Sega fanboy from that generation. I what a bad thing really say about it, but you look at it and go, how long did the N64 last without bringing out a Nintendo CD, even though they wanted to, obviously.
The double D disk drive.
that was the N64 as well.
N64,
so obviously they lasted up until maybe midway through the 32-bit era with their 16-bit console.
That's right, yeah.
Because that was tiding them over to the N64 came out.
There were still, I remember Super Nintendo games getting released in 1995 and maybe even 96 here. I remember definitely 95 there were still, you could buy.
Metroid not one of the last ones that came out on it?
And
Metroid?
I'm not sure. It's but I remember that being weird because obviously the PlayStation. You go into the shop and you just have the CDs next to these the cardboard boxes, the cartridges, and it did seem like seeing them right next to each other, like, yeah, PlayStation's so much cooler. I remember doing that as well though. I remember going into Woolworths at the time and walking in and seeing Sonic's CD sitting in a double dual CD case. I was like to my gran, can I get that? She's like, no, because you don't have it. You don't have it. It's like, but it's got metal Sonic in the front of it. It looks so cool. And then what took how many years to play it?
Maybe 20.
You just played it recently.
I played it recently, and I text Mark and Jim in our group chat and went, yeah, I'm disappointed. I'm not going to rag on the game and say it's shit and say the graphics are shit, but I don't know.
It does get regarded as being like, oh, this was like, the last really, really good Sonic game.
But if I wanted to play a platforming Sonic game, I'd probably go back to Sonic 2.
I just played
one.
Sonic 1, but Sonic 2's got...
It's probably
makes
the
it
best.
better.
Really? I thought Sonic 2 was shit. I hate Tails.
Tails is... barely. He's not really involved.
Sack.
He takes one for the team every single time. If you get a player 2, plug player 2 in so you can play after and go on you go Tails, do yourself.
You don't even play it because Sonic goes too fast. And if you're player 2, you're fucked. You just spend the whole time going, oh, here I'm coming back at. Oh, you've already went off again.
You do that thing where you don't let him touch the ground. You're like, yeah, but let me do it. No.
No, Sonic 1 and 2 were the only games. I think the only reason I can replay them now is just purely nostalgia. I don't think I like those games, to be honest. I honestly don't think I actually legit like those games, but it's just purely nostalgic.
I'm not a big platforming fan.
I really hate platformers.
But if I do want to play one, I will go back and play those games. Rather than... I don't know, maybe. A game I did like, which was a 3D platform, which lots of people probably rag on. Pandemonium.
I remember that.
Pandemonium was really good. How much I liked Pandemonium was I had it on the PlayStation. Actually killed it in that. Always went to Jester because he had better moves. The girl was a bit rubbish.
You didn't go to the girl because it was a girl.
She went cartwheels or something.
No, it was a Jester that done cartwheels.
Was that? I thought it was a woman.
But then I also, when I got my Engage, I also got it from my Engage as well.
Oh my god.
Because it was like Pandemonium. I remember sitting in the train going up to college at the time, playing Pandemonium off and going, the technology's not going to get any better than this, boys. People looking at it going, wow, he's definitely a virgin. Yeah, listen to my mini disc as well. Technology passed me by, boys.
So I'm definitely going to buy one of those HD DVD players.
We actually spoke about this not too long ago, me and Jim. It's like my 21st birthday, we got money and James booked himself an all-inclusive for 2 weeks in Ibiza with his birthday money. I went out the first week and bought myself the HD DVD add-on for the Xbox 360 and went, yeah, this is fucking awesome. Get myself Jarhead, get myself, I think I've got the Big Lebowski and Goodfellas. I got all those and I was like, yeah, this is going to take off something amazing. A week rolls by, oh, it looks like Sony has signed up every other picture company.
Aye.
Oh, okay, looks like my birthday present is down the drain.
Still have it.
Still got it.
Still have it?
I've still got it. I've still got the box and everything.
Can't even give them away now.
No, God no. But maybe talking about boxes, like maybe segue into something else. Recent purchases for myself.
Oh yeah, big purchase.
Big purchase.
Anyway, like with Dark Souls 2.
Oh, you still want to finish your fucking Dark Souls?
Fantastic.
Aye.
If you haven't played it, play it. Don't watch anybody play it.
It's the censure who fucking watching people playing it.
Yeah, but I finished it before I watched anybody play it.
Ah, okay. Alright, that makes sense.
Although the thing that pisses me off about it, because I went to play Dark Souls 1 and I was like, I don't know this is shit, and turned it off because I know exactly what to do in Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls 1 I was like, this is shit, I don't know what to do, turned it off.
What, I'm guessing the buttons have changed since Dark Souls?
No, it's just I don't know where to go.
Oh right, okay.
And it bored me. I was like, I just kept getting Mars handed to me. I was like, I'm sick of this. Turned it off after usual Jim. After half an hour, this game's shit.
Do you know what? I'm going to tweet Miles and tell him this is shit.
So you would recommend it anyway?
Aye, right. Aye. Okay, sorry for interrupting, but
it's alright. It's alright.
9 gyms out of 10.
It's going to be 9.5 gyms.
Aye.
Out of hetero 691.
Oh god. So recent purchases. We haven't really done I think the very first episode we spoke about how I like retro gaming.
You basically collect. You are a collector.
I'm a collector. But since last time we spoke about it, I've added a few more consoles to my collection. Well, a console really. I got myself a Neo Geo CD. I didn't go. Well, actually, what happened was I was browsing on. I don't use eBay. I very rarely use eBay to buy anything. I've never been the one to use eBay really at all, but I prefer Amazon. Don't know why. I was just like checking Amazon. People are usually silly and whack stuff on Amazon and go.
We're also looking for like one of those Amazon sponsored links.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, I would love me some Prime. So I done that and I was like looking at Amazon and that's where I got my mate a Dreamcast for his birthday. He was like played the Dreamcast years ago and sold it. So I bought my mate and a couple of years of Dreamcast. I went and got it for like 2 controllers and everything else for. I think it was like 15 quid.
Aye.
I was like, so that was quite good for a Dreamcast because the prices have it up now slightly.
Yeah.
So I checked that. I was like so close. Like I kind of want a Neo Geo AES system, which is the big cartridge based one. So I was kind of perusing the websites and went, oh, there's one there for like 200 quid, I'll wait till payday because if I buy it now I'll be skint. I was like, oh, I don't know, well I won't. So I just typed in Neo Geo. First one that popped up was a Neo Geo CD, the second generation, so it's the top loader, not the one you insert the disc into the front. The first one is the one you can insert the disc into the front, second one is the top loader, and the first one is third version of it is top loader, but it's got a 2-speed disc in it. So they say it loads games quicker, but it's got more RAM in it, so that's why it reads the disc. That's why it loads games quicker than this one. Anyway, so I looked at it and I seen it and went, oh, look at that. That is a Neo Geo CD. Looks nice condition. The picture looks nice. For I think I got it. Was it 50 quid? I was like, it's worth a punt. Might as well get it. It says it's working. So I thought maybe the guy from the it wrong. Click buy now. Fine, your orders came through, confirmations came through, and I thought, right, what I'll do is I'll email the seller. So I emailed the seller and said, what comes with the Neo Geo CD? He says it comes with 2 pads and the console. I said, that's all I need. That's brilliant, that's fine for me. It's coming from Japan, so it was the guy had, I think it was like it literally was £5 posting packaging from Japan.
That's crazy. You would expect to get heavy stung with the.
So it came into customs, and the guy done the old trick with saying it's a gift, so it's under 1,000 yen. But obviously they opened it up and went, that isn't worth 1,000 yen, you're daft. They sealed it back up, and I think I get charged maybe, it's like, pardon me, so I think I get charged like 15-20 quid max. So it worked out costing me, maybe, what was it? I can't remember. Anyway, it cost me less than 70 quid I think it was to get this console.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a really good bargain, because you can go on eBay and look at them now. I think they're buying now 100 to 150 quid. So I got the box from the depot, got home, opened up and went, I think I text Mark straight away and says, you should see this Neo Geo, it is boxed, it's mint condition. Like, I opened up and went, wow. Took it out, still has all the styrofoam, still has the original paperwork from the very first person to buy it in Japan.
And it's signed as well.
It has a receipt on it, it's like signed from the factory.
Yeah.
All the styrofoam, and one of the pads were actually factory sealed. A factory sealed pad, and I was like, this is unreal. I think the console was mint condition, no scratches. I actually think I put a scratch in it, put the adapter into the back of it. That's how I think this game is. Whoever had got it, popped it and went, okay, yeah, can I get myself a PlayStation now, get myself a Sega Saturn, put that back in the box. So I got that, and I don't know if anyone knows, but I don't know if you can say this, but early 90s consoles don't really have copyright protection. So the first thing I did was maybe download a game before I purchased games. So I got myself, and it's like, yeah, Samurai Showdown, because that's like the cheapest game you can buy. So I bought Samurai Showdown, but beforehand I did burn one, and I went, it works, and loading times aren't as bad as everyone makes out. Everyone makes out that the loading times take forever. It's not really that bad.
Better than a Spectrum.
Better than a Spectrum. Well, they do take the best part of 40 minutes sometimes. This only took maybe 2-3 minutes, so it wasn't bad. So got my some games, and I was like, this is amazing. Mark came up, and I think we played Metal Slug.
Yeah,
we played Metal Slug, but I love the control pad.
It's actually really, I've never.
Yeah. So I was going.
It's a really cool. It's like a thumbstick. It's like halfway between like an analog thumbstick and an arcade joystick. It's like click. So it kind of clicks. It's weird. It's
got micro switches inside it.
Yeah.
So it feels like giving that arcade feel, because the original Neo Geo console was crazy. Like, to buy a copy of Metal Slug, I think when the console came out, was roughly like 150 quid an hour money at that time. That's early 90s money as well though, so you're paying a shitload of that then, whereas you could pick up the CD version for, I don't know, say 30-40 quid.
Aye.
And so that's why Neo Geo did it. They wanted to get the cost down, so they brought out the cheaper CD based console rather than the carts.
Do you hear that, Nintendo?
Yeah. So that's what they done. They did that, and
we played. By the way, I want to bring something up. I love GameSack, right? Really, really fucking phenomenally edited, really funny guys. They just recently done a Neo Geo episode. It was quite funny. It was like 2 weeks after you bought it, not even 2 weeks, and it's like they done an episode. They covered a lot of games, and they went, I can't remember which one said it, but he's like, oh, you'd be amazed at how well Metal Slug plays on it, and in the captured footage he was using, he was just playing it single player, and he's saying there's hardly any slowdown. Fucking play that 2-player, because see the amount of slowdown 2-player is ridiculous. It comes to an absolute crawl. Obviously I'm just like,
yeah,
you know, it's still really impressive on this hardware, especially at the time. It would be really impressive. But yeah, 2-player Metal Slug at certain points, maybe it's just the way I play it, which is just fucking,
to be fair, I think it was Metal Slug 2 we were playing as well though. Nah, because it's prone to a bit of slowdown even in single player, but again reading from a disc, which then it loads kind of in between half levels as well, so it's a good console. I was happy with my purchase. It's
a really cool looking, like you were saying about the controller, everything looks, the version you've got is quite kind of sleek looking. It's like a it reminds me slightly of what a Sega Saturn.
Yeah, that's the thing as well. It's like quite big as well though. It's much bigger than I thought it'd be, but it's like incredibly light. So I was happy with that, and I've been putting in. So that's my purchases for consoles out the window.
Wee purchase out
that was my little purchase out the window. But I've been toying with that idea for ages. I've been texting Mark saying I went down to Retro Collect. Is it Retro Collect?
I think so.
I think it was Retro Collect put on this thing. It was
where was that again?
Leeds.
Right.
Go down to Leeds and it was a retro event. I don't know if I have spoke about it because I got down there as well. I bought myself a CDI and a 3DO.
Fuck, we need to talk about those Zelda games. We'll talk about that.
We'll let Mark talk about the Zelda games that he's played shortly. So I went down there and I was texting Mark saying, oh god, there's a guy selling like mini bar tops, but they were extortionate. They were like a handmade bar top, and I don't know what it had inside it, but it's like touching almost 400 quid, and I was like, I want one. I've wanted an arcade cabinet for ages, and I wanted a bar top. I was going to make one myself. Cool. Very cool. And I was like, I should get one, but I mean, I'm not paying that price for one. I probably wouldn't use it. If I had to build it myself, and I probably wouldn't do it. Anyway, perusing a couple of forums, and I looked online, and the guy said, oh, I was at my mum's house. My brother's thinking about selling his old console, his old arcade cabinet. Would anyone be interested in it? I'll deliver it. I was like, this could work out. So next thing I know, I'm on the forum and I've PM'd the guy sitting me saying, yeah, fuck it, I'll take it. Literally half an hour, 45 minutes later, the guy's at my door with a full-sized arcade 2-player cabinet. I was like, fuck, what have I done? So he's helped me in the door, and the door's shut, and I've just hit the instant pang of buyer's remorse. I've been standing looking at it going, what am I going to do? It's been in a shed for years. It fucking stinks. It's dirty. It smells like damp. There's dust everywhere. I don't know what I'm going to do and where I'm going to start. So I've been like, my brother Adam's came. I've been like, Adam, you need to help me upstairs. I need to get upstairs so I can at least get out of the way, and I can go, I'll think about it later, I'll do something with it. So he comes round and helps me upstairs with it. I've been the whole night. He's went away and I've just been sitting staring at it going, I don't know what I'm going to do here. I'm really I impressed myself with the amount of shit I buy. Because I've got, I think at the last count I had like 26 consoles or something, and I was like, I've got EverDrives for most of them as well, so that's ridiculous pricing as well. So I was like, I've outdone myself. First thing is, I plugged it in. It doesn't work obviously because I don't have a JAMA board for it to test out. So it's like I don't even know if it works. It didn't have a monitor. Might as well say as well. It didn't come with a monitor either. I knew that didn't come with a monitor, so that's not bad mouthing the guy that sells it, Vic, who's on a separate. This is the reason why I bought the thing. But listen to an arcade podcast called the 10 pence Arcade Podcast, and it's two guys, Vic and Chucky Egg, they call themselves, and they talk about retro arcade games from their youth. So I'm going about it, I was like, yeah, this is really getting me into this. I really want to play MAME, and I've tried it years ago. I know they're purists and they like to play it on actual proper hardware. And one of the guys who's got them, they both have really, really good collections, but I was like, can I just dip my toe in it, maybe get some MAME, because I know what I'm like talking about console emulation. I don't like when people say, oh, I play emulators on my PC. It's exactly the same.
It doesn't feel
the same, and so I'm going to assume they must think I'm an arse for playing MAME when they. So I'm like, I don't care. I'm happy just now.
Fucking poser.
Yeah. So I played it on my laptop and PC for years, playing wee bits of Street Fighter. Here I bought myself a cheapish USB joystick to play some games on. I was like, it's kind of cool. I think Mark then bought one, and we played it together, going, yeah, the Simpsons is cool.
Sat there clacking away at the keys, clack, 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 clack,
And
clack.
like, this is amazing. So then, anyway, fast forward, and this is what I ended up getting one. So I've got it up, and I've been, pardon, and so the next day I just went, I need to start this. It's actually stinking out my house. So what I need to do is at least clean it. So first thing I did was Rosa, the kitchen roll and glass cleaner and Jif and Sif, whatever you want to call it these days. Absolutely gutted it out from the outside. It was bog, and it was basically a bin bag full of dirty. It was just, I think it's been in a shed for years collecting dust.
Aye.
So I've done all that, and I went, right, okay, what will I do? I'm sitting thinking to myself, am I going to get a JAMA board? You can get one for like 100 games on it. So I thought, well, I'll get one of them, or well, I'll rip everything out and stick in a PC and a USB joystick. And I went, fuck it, I'll do that, because then I at least I know how to run MAME slightly.
Nah.
I said that because if anything goes wrong with anything else, I'm not going to know how to fix it without having to bother people and say, how'd you fix it? So I done that, whipped it all out, managed to sell some of the parts, which was good. So I made a little bit of money back, not much, but I did get rid of the joysticks, the buttons, basically all the inners. So
the spider eggs,
inside it was humming as well. So I cleaned everything out of it. It's sparkling, but there was nothing in it. So I was like, what I need to do now? So I'm running it on my laptop basically through a monitor which I got off Gumtree, a TFT monitor for pennies. A 19-inch monitor which fits it perfectly, looks amazing in it.
See, sadly we're too old to still be going to school, so instead of just lifting it from IT or whatever,
somebody else lifted it for me, and I paid like, I think it was like 14 quid for a 19-inch monitor. I was like, this is cool. So I did that, and now I've got it upstairs, and I put my laptop in it and wired in USB controllers, sort of USB joysticks, but proper like micro switches and micro switch buttons, and it's all wired in perfectly to a chip, which then goes into the PC as well via USB. So everything's working fine on it, and I've mounted my screen. I was like, how am I? Because I bought the screen, it was standing on its stance. Like, everything's cool, looks good. I sent you pictures of it, and I was like, so I played WrestleMania and WrestleFest, sorry, on it, playing it, and I played WrestleMania, an arcade game. This headset just called WrestleMania. Playing that, and it's no longer the arcade because it is just WrestleMania. When it was ported, it was the arcade game. Playing that, and I was like, oh man, it looks good, but there's something missing because it just doesn't look right sitting in this wee stand inside of a tin inside of it. I need to figure out how to mount this. I looked at those ways people had used harnesses before. I was like, I kind of don't want to have a harness inside it in case, I don't know, it just looks daft. So I thought to myself, what can I do? And so I went, wood might work. You can mount a telly on a wall if you get a plank of wood and a metal cover for it. It'll be fine. I kind of thought, what can I do? You can mount a telly on a bracket on the wall. So I went, I should be able to mount a screen on a bit of wood and a monitor. I should be able to mount it inside the cabinet. A bit of a brainstorm. Went, yeah, do you know what? My mate says, I'll take you to B&Q. I was like, where can I get a bit of wood which is like 56 centimetres wide by another 56 or square by 2 centimetres thick? And went, we'll go to B&Q, get you some wood. I was like, pardon, and then we went off, and we ended up going
a pun full day.
Yeah. So we went in and we looked at MDF and all that. He's like, you don't want that shit. And then he's like, do you know what, actually I've seen that, I'll have to buy the big plank of wood and then get it cut. So I was like, oh, I'm going to be stuck with like another 6 foot worth of wood that I'm not going to need. And I'm like, fuck this now. So he says, do you know what, check the offcut section in B&Q. I was like, okay. There was a nice big bit of white, and I went, oh yeah, that'll be fine, that's perfect. Took it up, and the guy says, you paid for it? It says, no, it was in the offcut section. He's like, no, but I'll price it up for you. And I was like, he's probably going to charge me about 10, 15 quid, that'll be fine. Cut it, fine, gave me it £1. I was like, yeah, this is the cheapest thing that's going to arcade cabinet, woo! So I've done that, mounted it last night, looks excellent. Really, I'll need to paint it black though, because everything else is black in the arcade cabinet, apart from this kind of, you can see around the screen it's kind of white looking. And so really happy with it. Got MAME running on it. Mark's not played it yet.
Well, I played. You kind of got it half up and running, so you got it kind of all the buttons and all that running at the time.
with one joystick.
Yeah, so it obviously wasn't like kind of 100% set up, but I could play the game, and I sat and played Alien versus Predator. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was a really cool game. That's the first I've played the proper, obviously the arcade game. It's really cool. And obviously it felt so weird. It really was like a kind of nostalgia trip to like being in the chippy. Or like just sitting there, because I think the last time I legit played an arcade machine was probably either in Helensburgh, down at the fucking
The pier.
with all the Giplos surrounding you, and the chippy, the local chippy used to have arcade machines.
Street Fighter. That's where I first played Street Fighter.
I first played Mortal Kombat in there.
Oh yeah.
I normally had it for like a month. I don't know what the deal was.
That's because it wasn't Street Fighter, probably.
Probably.
The guys thought, I really like Street Fighter better than this weird 5-sided dice thing.
The bubble bobble and all that as
Oh,
well.
did they?
They ended up, I don't know, obviously they might have had multiple games
I was
on
going
that.
to say it's probably one
Yeah.
that probably was like the cabinet I've got upstairs, the Jammer cab. You can just interchange games and just.
I don't know, it's kind of weird that they would think they do that though, like, because you don't really need to do that, especially in our area. Like even now, but at that time as well, it's like, yeah, there's too many idiots kicking about. Like those, you would assume that they
They even
just
had
get
the
smashed
pinball
up.
machine, the Terminator 2
That's
pinball
right,
machine.
yeah.
And a chippy.
And a fucking chippy. I don't know what they were thinking.
But yeah, so I'm really happy with that purchase. That's probably, I've been keep telling myself this will be my last. When I bought my New Year's, I was like, that'll be my last purchase before I go to Japan, because when I'm in Japan I want to pick up a Famicom and the Famicom Disk System. Yeah, so I was like, I keep telling myself, I got a unit from IKEA, which is a bookshelf. I think every person's got one of those now. You pop it on its side and you can it's got 8 shelves in it, so you can pop your consoles in it. And then I ran out of space obviously, so I was like, right, okay, what I'll do is I'll build my own shelving inside it, so I put my own shelf in it, so it doubled the capacity. Ran out of space, and obviously I was like, oh man. So I've still got, I think the original Xbox maybe still in my cupboard, because it's an ugly console, it's not there for display. And
Barely gets used
but everything sits, so there's a couple of consoles on top. I think I've got the CDI on top, which is basically bigger than a VCR.
I think it's legit the biggest console I've ever seen anyway.
The model I have at least is the very first one, which was, I think at the time, was the cheapest version you could get.
It looks like those big massive, if anyone remembers when they were combining the DVD and VHS, it was like combo players. It looks like one of those.
Apart from blacker and uglier and the biggest piece of shit ever.
Oh, yeah. It's so bad. It's so bad.
The only reason I got it was just because I kind of wanted one. Because I remember, like I said, when I first started collecting consoles years ago, like I wanted all the consoles I kind of wanted as a kid. Like when I was growing up, I never had a SNES. We were a Mega Drive fan, so I always had the Mega Drive, and then we went on to the PlayStation. So when I got a bit older, I had
at some point when you were younger, you went, I want a CDI.
I was like, no, you see them in the magazine. You used to get the PlayStation magazines, and the back of it would say, like, you could
Games Master magazines, isn't it?
Yeah, you get like advertisements for like companies in England which stocked in specialities and stuff. You're like, oh man, I wish what a CDI, what a 3DO, wow, those look cool.
A Jaguar.
A Jaguar, all that. So then when I started getting my own money and stuff, I did buy older consoles, but for years they sat under my bed going, I didn't have anywhere to put them.
Yeah.
It's only maybe in the last year or so I went, fuck it, I might as well show everyone how much of a nerd I am. So I got my unit, put lights in it, doubled the capacity, put everything around it, sits in my massive table, and I love it, looks excellent. But now I have my main cabinet as well, which is, I wanted one for years, so, but it's still very daunting walking into my room and go, oh Jesus, that's really big, and I don't have anywhere else to put it.
It's when you're moving, when you have to move it, that's going to be a fucking pain in the arse.
It's going to go, should I take everything out of it now so it doesn't weigh as much, because it still weighs even when it was empty, it still weighed an absolute ton.
Aye.
So it's going to be fun trying to get it out doors and everything if I ever have to move out again, so that'll be fun. That
wasn't the only new purchase of the group.
No,
I actually forgotten about it until just there and now. Yeah, I treated myself, new job and that, you know, treated myself to one of those new next gen shiny consoles. So I seen that Bob bought an Xbox One, and I went, alright, aye, sound aye. It's like, I'll just buy the competitor console, got myself a PS4. I think the main reason I bought it though is because I've got a PlayStation Plus subscription on the PS3, so I was kind of like, well, no, there's games already for it, so I don't actually have to worry about buying games. Because I kept adding like the PS4 titles to like you can get them online even if you don't own the PS4. So I had like Outlast, Don't Starve, what is it, Retro Gun or something like that. It's a fucking shite game anyway. I had a few games to download as soon as I got it, but really enjoying it, really liking it. I re-completed Outlast today. I already owned it on the PC, but we played it on the PS4 just for trophies and stuff. What other games I bought quite a lot of games for it, I think. Battlefield 4, Assassin's Creed Black Flag, Killzone. Fuck it.
How is Killzone? Killzone.
Killzone's terrible.
Is it?
Well, it's not even terrible. It's like,
is that Shadowfall, that one?
yeah, Killzone Shadowfall. It's one of those, now they always say about a movie, the worst thing a movie can be is boring.
Yeah.
Like, even like if a movie's fucking like really terribly acted, it's entertaining in its own weird way, i.e. The Room. But it's like, this game is kind of like a really boring movie. It looks nice, it's obviously well crafted. You're just going like, developers aren't idiots, because I mean at certain points the game does look really nice. It plays decently. I mean there's nothing that you're kind of going, oh this is janky or fucking just doesn't work right. No, it's just so mediocre, it's unreal. Like, I only paid £15 for it, right enough, but to be honest,
you can see why it's £15 already.
Exactly. It's just like, yeah, it was a launch title. It doesn't even feel rushed. It just feels, it's a slog. It's just nothing interesting fucking happens.
Actually, that reminds me, I remember when I bought my PS3, it reminds me, when you were saying that, of Resistance.
Yeah.
I felt like that game looked beautiful, really nice, but I couldn't get into it.
So Killzone, I mean, Battlefield 4, the first 10 minutes of the single player campaign of Battlefield 4 was fucking so much more interesting than the entire campaign of Killzone.
Was there a big update for Battlefield 4?
Well, when I got it, I had to download, what was that, about maybe a 3.8 gigabytes worth of updates. That's the other weird thing about the PS4. But PC users will know about this. Like, you see when you patch a game, it always comes with a wee like text pad, and you can see like the updates and change list. You never ever read that on the PC. I just fucking ignore it on the PC. But see on the PS4, because I can look at it now, I'm like, oh, I wonder what the changes are. And it's just like, it's kind of interesting to see on a console. It has a readme that you can sit and look at what they've changed. So I just recently got, that's another Metal Gear Solid Ground Zero on the PS4, and that just recently got updated, and now it's the same for Xbox One. You now have the Deja Vu mission.
Oh right, I've not done that yet.
So everything, the timed exclusives now, it's available for all the consoles. So I now have the Raiden.
Do you know how to get in?
I have no idea.
Collect all the Fox patches.
Oh yeah. Well, I've already unlocked it then, because I've done that to unlock the Deja Vu mission. But as I was playing, I think the first 2 days with the PS4, I had Metal Gear Solid Ground Zero with it, and I just solidly played that for 2 days. Yeah, it's like a fucking, like, people saying demo and all that. I paid 20. It wasn't even 20. It was £18 I paid for it, and I think it was more than what. I'm happier paying £18 for that game than I'm paying for Killzone. Put it that way. And Killzone's a full fucking game. Metal Gear Solid Ground Zero is awesome. Really cool. Didn't really like Metal Gear Solid 4 that much, although I've got a weird relationship with that game. I must have completed it about 4 times.
Didn't like it?
But I didn't. Overall, I was like, that game fucking annoyed me.
What about the monkey smoking cigarettes?
It's just, I won't get into that, because we'll probably cover Metal Gear Solid at one point.
God, probably.
Yeah.
It would probably take us a year, never mind.
Yeah, if we think our infrequent updates are for Resident Evil, what do you say, Metal Gear?
But the PS4, so I played that solidly. Assassin's Creed Black Flag I really enjoyed Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood, which was soon out after it. Didn't really play or like the other ones. I've not even touched Assassin's Creed 3, and I've got that free with PlayStation Plus for the PS3. But Black Flag, I played the first hour and I'm like, this game's rotten. This game's fucking shite. Like, really, I'm like, Steph went backwards with this, I don't understand. And but it turns out the first like area you're in, the first island you're on, is like a tutorial section. It's just that the whole, as soon as you get on your ship and you start sailing, the game completely opens up and it becomes actually kind of cool, quite interesting. It just becomes a fucking pirate simulator. You're sailing, you get your what do you call it, telescope out, and you're looking at other ships. I'm like, whoa, that's get like 18 metal and 4 wool. It's like, those bastards are going down. So like, yeah, I was playing that for a bit. That was quite cool. It looks good in the PS4, but again, that's not a huge leap like from the PS3 and the Xbox 360. I'd say the games that you really notice is Metal Gear Solid Ground Zero. Looks really, really nice.
Has anyone seen the PS3 and 360 versions of it? I've not even looked at it.
I thought about maybe getting a hold of it just to see
comparisons.
Yeah, because you would be able to just resell it for the value that you buy it for. And it's just, I was thinking about it because I sometimes record gameplay, and I thought maybe doing a side by side, but no, I'm not really. I'd imagine it just looks slightly worse and runs slightly worse. I bet that'd be about it. But
other enjoyable game anyway.
Yeah, really good.
So you got you amped for.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, the gameplay mechanics are really nice in Ground Zero.
Phantom Pain,
That's it.
It's like basically if they stick, as long as they don't go changing those gameplay mechanics, like just the feel of the game just feels really nice. So, and obviously they'll probably actually improve the look of it and all that for when eventually the actual Phantom Pain comes out.
That is a next gen exclusive though, isn't it? It's not on the 360, is it? Or PS3?
I'd like to think so, yeah. Because right now it's a bit, it's a tiny bit annoying, and you probably feel the same way with the Xbox One. Even the games that are coming out soon, the next few months and all that, is kind of multi-platform in the sense it's like PS3 and Xbox 360
and whatnot.
But that's the thing, you can't piss the cost of there's more people with last gen consoles than current gen, so Sony and Microsoft can't piss off that market base and say, well, listen, we're cutting off right now.
Like Borderlands as well, wasn't it? It's like it's going to be last gen, and I heard some complaints like, oh yeah, but was it 6 million or something units sold at the PlayStation 4?
3.
I heard a million. I was like, yeah, but it says that's not a big enough market. So, well, compared to fucking was Xbox the biggest selling console ever?
No, that's
360. Well, in the West.
I don't really know about the sales and stuff, but I understand why the developers are doing that, because you're kind of going, it was silly us kind of cutting off that market share.
Yeah,
we could make more money. I understand that, but it's purely from like, you know,
a jealousy.
It's kind of just like, oh, come on, just
program specifically for this to make it look as nice as possible.
Because it just feels at the moment nobody's even trying to really push the hardware. At the moment, I mean, games look really nice on it, play quite nice on it, but you just feel as if it's like, that it's almost like the consoles came out too early. Even though it was a huge wait for these next gen consoles, it still feels too early because no developers really properly developed.
All your games are going to be like, say, Metal Gear 4.5. It's not going to be a Metal Gear. It's not going to be a proper next gen title till the last next gen is dead.
It probably won't be until maybe like 2 or 3 years time, like really until they pretty much stop. Was like, we're not even concentrating on PS3 and Xbox.
You won't see it until, I think, third party developers will keep developing for these other consoles, but until Microsoft is going to say, well, our first party are now not going to do anything but PS4 exclusives and Xbox One exclusives.
But the 1.7 update, 1.70 update came out for the PlayStation there. That was quite nice, so I can now record gameplay from my PS4 without fucking farting about with it. So I can just plug the HDMI straight into, I've got a Hauppauge, but if you had to an Elgato or whatever, just plug it in and it will work. It came with a Share Factory thing, so this is what PlayStation's own video editing software, so you can record like your last 15 minutes of gameplay, or like you can switch it so as it records the next 15 minutes of gameplay. But you could, like that, I was playing a game and managed to do something kind of decent in it, and I was like, oh, that'd be kind of cool. I wish I would have recorded that. Then I remember, like, wait a minute, I can just press the share button. It comes up and it says, would you like to save your gameplay? And it saves the last 15 minutes. So you can use this share factory to edit it, and it actually works alright. I mean, it's not like, oh, you're going to have people who's like, well, you can't do this, that, and the next thing. It's like, yeah, but you're working with a controller. It's like, obviously it's going to be a lot more difficult, but it fairly decent. I was able to, for very simple gameplay videos and stuff, it's absolutely no bother.
Do you then export it onto your computer, or do you then upload it yourself?
You can render it and upload it straight from the PS4.
Nice.
But what I don't have a mic for my PS4, or at least a mic that sounds good on my PS4. I can't plug in the one I'm using right now. It's not compatible, but I can copy the file. So I rendered it on the PS4 and copied the file to a USB stick, stuck it in, and all I done was put the voice work over the actual gameplay, but I didn't have to edit anything else.
Nice.
But yeah, so it makes it kind of cool. So if you're ever playing the PS4 and say something kind of glitchy or whatever happens, and you're like, fuck, and you just press the share button, it'll capture that footage for you, the last 15 minutes. Or if you know the next 15 minutes of the gameplay, you can press it twice and it'll start capturing the footage from that exact point on. So it's like neat things like that. I've really kind of enjoyed. It's kind of, as I said, it feels early though. Like, it's like all the ideas and things are kind of going, this is kind of neat, this is quite cool, but still feels like early days, because we were talking about it earlier on. It's like, it's only 15 minutes you can capture at the moment, and I understand obviously that it doesn't want people like filling up their hard drive, but it's what I was thinking. It's like, well, it's now compatible with external hard drives.
So why not just plug in a
exactly,
1 terabyte,
like,
and you can work
and extend it, so maybe you can extend it right up until like 60 minutes, so you can capture the last 60 minutes.
Well, let's say maybe like your hard drive goes down to its last, I don't know, 10 gig, 20 gig or something, and say, well, you can record this long until now.
But I think this will be, in future updates, it'll probably extend all that. But yeah, pretty impressed with the PS4. I got it cheap. I got it £100 cheaper than you normally would, and it was in very, very good condition. And
it wasn't dusty. You didn't have to attack it with bleach and Jif.
no, I didn't have to.
And rubber, I have more rubber gloves as well.
No, but so that was my purchase. That's generally what I've been playing as just the PS4 exclusively. Obviously in between doing the Resi games. But
obviously the main reason you bought the PS4 over the Xbox One is 60 frames per second and really HD 1080i.
Well, you know me.
Bit of a purist.
I'm a bit of a PC snob, and when it comes to, I mean, I bought an Xbox, the very original Xbox back in the day, because I was like, well, it's more powerful. It's more powerful than PS2, so therefore it is better. We know that it doesn't work that way at all. It's your game.
That's why you own Dreamcast.
But well, Dreamcast is like, look at those pathetic PlayStation 1 graphics. But so an Xbox 360, for the first 3-4 years of that's lifespan, even when the PS3 eventually came out, every multi-platform game looked better on the Xbox 360. So I was just like, what's a fucking no-brainer? The Xbox 360 is the console we have. Eventually the PS3 caught up, but because that was a pain in the arse to program for or something. But it's like, even though PS3 was technically more powerful, it didn't produce the power.
I think it's fine, maybe in the last year or so. I think it's now hitting AAA titles at the end of its
I know, finally got that.
Its reign.
But it's PlayStation exclusives, obviously.
Yeah.
It's all Naughty Dog and it's other first party studios that are programming for it. Very much like we were talking about earlier on with the N64.
The PS4 also doesn't have Kinect, and that makes me happy, because I know I'm on about this and I know it annoys Bob.
No.
But it's the first time we were in his room and the Xbox One, like, oh brilliant, Xbox One, this is sweet. So we're kind of going, like, the controller, I mean I still prefer the Xbox One controller to the PS4, although the PS4 I think is a huge improvement controller wise to the PS3 and PS2, but it's still not, I'm still an Xbox 360 kind of guy, so the Xbox One controller definitely feels better. But the Xbox One, when it had the Kinect, obviously that will be getting updated and all that as well, but when we when it first launched there, oh my god, it was a fucking pain in the arse even just playing Dead Rising 3. It kept interrupting the gameplay. There was 3 of us in the room talking, right, and it's not as if every second word of ours was Xbox, but we were just chatting away and it would just pause the game and it would come up and it would say what stop listening, so it would be Connect or Xbox stop listening, so you'd say that and half an hour later it would pop up again, and it kept kind of doing this until eventually Bob got fed up and disconnected the Connect. But Dead Rising 3 actually uses the Connect a little bit in the game.
You could taunt the bosses and make them angry and easier to kill.
Exactly, something like over here or you're stupid or something like that. And hey, you're crazy. I think that was it. You're crazy.
But we couldn't get it to work with our Scottish accent.
Exactly, you're crazy, and it's just the Connect is like bringing up Bing and all that. That really done my head in. I was like, I don't like this. I can't believe Xbox have fucked this up so bad.
Well, we found as well though, playing Dead Rising, we weren't even talking, we were just sitting in silence watching the gameplay and
cough.
That was the actual in-game footage, the in-game sounds as well was bringing up the menus as well.
That's right, yeah.
It was like, what did you say? Nothing, it was the fucking game.
So we spent probably about, if you like, we played it for about 2 hours, like not just Dead Rising 3, with multiple games we were playing.
Forza, I think as well.
Yeah, Battlefield 4 at that time, fuck me, that was a mess, like across all systems right enough the server side. But yeah, it came up, from what I remember, it came up 4 times, Connect interrupted gameplay, and I just went, I wasn't interested in getting a console at that time anyway. But I was just kind of going, unless Microsoft really sort this out, there's no way I'm buying an Xbox One, because they're really pushing you to use this thing, and it doesn't fucking work. So the PS4, also, that's what we're talking about, it's like, I'm a fucking PC guy, so I was just like, was comparison videos, it runs better, it runs slightly better than the PS4, therefore I'm getting a PS4. That was pretty much it. It was like 1080p, almost 60 frames per second. So yeah, and so far, but I would imagine once we're 3-4 years into the actual proper new next gen consoles lifespans, there'll probably not be much of a difference, because two of the consoles are pretty much very similar, matched, you know. So I'll probably end up getting an Xbox One, and just the way I did the PS3, I got a PS3 about 3-4 years after
it launched.
It launched. Because it eventually became a good console. Just the first 3-4 years it wasn't worth having, really.
I do think maybe within the last, since the Xbox 360s came out, since pre-Xbox, since the original Xbox, every single console I've got on launch day, and there's only 2 that I haven't, was the Wii U and the PS4, and I've got a Wii U, so I probably will pick up PS4 soon. So it did annoy me a little bit when Mark actually got the PS4 before me, but I was like, yeah, but I bought tickets to go to the F1 in Japan. What a knob. But yeah, that's a so bit that Mark's got one before me.
I know, I'm actually impressed with myself.
That was a group message. I was like, yeah, I just bought a PS4, and I was like, you do know you've just pissed off Bob majorly. He is going to smelt.
That's the thing, is like, usually I have, like, not like you were saying, the whole buyer's regret thing, like, I thought as soon as I have it, as soon as I've played it for about 2-3 hours, I'll probably regret fucking paying this money, but I haven't really, because I'm just kind of, I got it for $250, so
with controls?
Yeah, with a controller and all the leads. It didn't come with any games, but it was a console and controls and HDMI and power supply, and I'm kind of going, well, no, in a year's time or whatever, I'll probably not get it any cheaper than this, really. So I was kind of thinking, well, but I would say, even though I like it and I'm pleased with my purchase, anybody that's on the fence about buying one, it's not worth buying. There's nothing that I would say that you're kind of going, oh, you need to own a PS4 for this title or whatever.
Octodad.
I know, it's like,
it's on PC anyway to that, isn't it?
Well, right now there's loads of indie titles for PS4 and PC, but it's just kind of like, I'm getting them free usually with PlayStation Plus, so I don't care, but I wouldn't pay actual money probably for it. But no, there's no big titles yet. Nothing that isn't multi-platform anyway. There's no exclusive. At least the Xbox One does have exclusive titles. Whether they're worth it or not is up to
I quite
yourself.
liked Rise, to be fair.
It's decent.
Forza was
Looks
nice.
really nice. Rise looks really good.
It was quite a fun-ish game.
Finished
Finished it in a couple of days. That wasn't sitting 5 hours, 4 hours. It was just a couple of sittings, smashed it.
See, I think that game probably works better for that though.
Yeah.
Like just kind of picking it up every so often and having a wee bash at it. I don't like.
What about Rise?
No. No, but no, there's no. I don't know if you would say the Xbox
No,
One.
I can't say myself that I would say you need to buy a Xbox One for that reason. Is there's really no exclusives that deserve best part of 400 quid.
I seen an Xbox One for 250 boxed and all that the other day. Still wasn't tempted. I don't know what that says. That's but I've got.
Probably says you've got a PS4.
It probably does. It's just like the Kinect annoyed me that much as well, and I'm kind of slightly because the Xbox 360 was my main gaming console, and as I said, the controller is to me is like almost like a perfect controller.
That's what reminds me so much about Eurogamer, the fact that we queued for ages to play the PS1, sorry, not PS1, we never queued for that, but the Xbox One. So we queued for ages to get into it, and it was Kill Instinct we actually queued to play for first.
Yeah.
So we done
Absolute
that.
zero interest in playing
And
the game.
everybody ran in and they was like, oh my god, there's joysticks. So everyone jumped to a joystick, and I was like, where's the controls? Because
Yeah.
I'd rather hold the control and get a feel of the control rather than.
All we were interested in.
So
was
we've got
the
it,
actual
man.
controller.
It's meaty, it feels nice. The buttons are maybe a bit smaller. And
The shoulder buttons, the bumpers.
Yeah.
I'd say took a wee tiny bit getting used to. Just ever so slightly. It was just like, oh, these are different. Not in a good way at first, anyway. But everything else felt really, really good.
Yeah.
Especially see what I really liked about the Xbox One controller. See the feedback you get. Say you're playing like Forza on it. The right trigger button. So obviously that's accelerate, and you're going through like gravel and stuff. Not only does the controller kind of vibrate, but there's like a weird feedback from the trigger, and it's almost like I don't know, it's slightly more immersive because you feel as if you're going over that certain part of the track. So like gravel or whatever. Obviously you kind of go, oh, it's just rumbling, but it's not. It's something, I don't know what they've done.
It's
there.
not like the original PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 1 where the controller just shook for the second. It actually kind of feels like it's force feeding it slightly into your finger for acceleration and brake as well.
That was very cool. I mean that was I think I'm now going to probably end up talking myself into getting an Xbox One, but there's stuff I really like about it, and there's stuff I really dislike about it. And see if I know they won't ever do this, but see if Xbox or Microsoft even were to just go, right, we're putting out a version of the Xbox One, it's not got the Kinect,
Never ever do
it's
it.
£100 cheaper, doesn't have the Kinect, and we're not making people use the Kinect. They won't ever do this.
Once if they made it £100 more expensive not to take Kinect, would you buy it?
No, of course not. But no, it's like I wish they would do that, because I know for a fact I would pick one up.
Never do it though.
They would never do it, but it's insane because
you
they're still.
sank that much fucking money.
I know,
into
it's
that
just, it feels
Kinect.
stupid though, doesn't it? It feels as if it's just like, oh well, we've dove in both feet here, we made, instead of climbing out and maybe adjusting ourselves and
I don't think shouting at your TV's the next fucking generation.
it's a fucking pain in the arse is what
Or
it
like
is.
waving your hand. How the fuck's that make you? I just want to sit with a fucking control or a keyboard and a mouse and just play a fucking game.
I mean, think of what the way we play games. Like even when you're on the couches, like you're either like that, or when it's a really serious game, you're leaning
I
forward.
was gonna say
Both.
they exactly know what you mean by
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, so you're leaning back. Obviously, I know podcast. Casually with it, or serious game, you're leaning forward, both forearms resting on your knees. But the Kinect, even if you some games are wanting you to, if you're even using the controller, it's wanting to register you.
That was, remember that Rise? It made you say something to like shoot arrows. It was like
is it just fire or something?
Fire, or you could hold in the LB, but that was slower.
Yeah, the game actually punished you slightly
for using LB.
For using the controller instead of using the super awesome Kinect. And the Kinect didn't register half the time, so a lot of the times you're got. It's so weird. It doesn't register when you want it to. Because how many times did we go
Xbox?
Xbox. Silence.
record that Xbox. Do it. No. And then we go, Mark. Xbox doing this. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh, and if anyone's listening to this podcast allowed in their room, they've got an Xbox One there. Xbox on. See, it's annoying, isn't it?
Xbox, sign out.
Yeah, it's I've seen that one in multiplayer. The guy's name. Oh, this guy's his name is it's the Xbox now.
It's still not as good as chocolate milk. Everyone's favourite.
Yeah, but no. So I think that's all I've got to say. Next gen. Not that anyone really cares, but yeah, PS4 pretty decent so far. Xbox One annoying me so far, even though I don't own one. It annoys me for some reason.
Xbox One loving it so far. PS4 annoying me because Mark has one.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we get anything else really to talk about just now, or are we going to?
Well, what have you been playing? Right, have we covered everything you've played?
Pretty much. Yeah. Dark Souls.
I'm obviously out with the Resident Evil. Know that we've actually played a lot of that. We've been too busy working or playing other games.
Yeah.
Back in. We have actually played a lot of Resident Evil games, but
well, Mark and I have, and James has just played Code Veronica for 15 minutes, the original time, so he still hasn't went back to it. You might watch a walkthrough of it though.
So this, we thought, because after that terrible intro at the beginning, this is just like a really kind of rough podcast. There'll not be any editing as such, like visual editing. I might throw in a wee video or picture here and there, just depends what I can be bothered with.
Yeah.
But it's just to quickly get this out. It's like a wee stopgap, a wee filler. So
what our idea was originally to do the Resident Evils and then put them all together and put them as one piece on iTunes. So what we're going to do now probably is Mark will edit this down as soon as he gets the video on YouTube, or just send me the audio and I'll whack it straight onto iTunes, and then maybe I think we've planned for maybe another 3 or 4 weeks from now we'll meet up again.
I would rather just I think if we actually say we don't know, we'd end up getting it done in like 2 weeks or something.
Yeah, with the schedules now, nobody knows exactly what they're doing.
Well, my work schedule it's really heavily scheduled now, so I only work certain days now, so it's easier for me now, because my old job was very awkward because I just get phoned in whenever, but now I think it should work out a wee bit better. We'll soon see, hopefully. But hopefully the next time you'll hear from us, we'll be talking about Resident Evil and not talking about PS4 and Xbox One.
And maybe probably a new console for Bob.
Nah, not this time. No, I still think the next console I'll get will be in October. Maybe
October?
That's when I'm coming back from
I thought it's like, is something getting released in October?
Yeah.
You know, a Nintendo's E3 announcement.
What think it's going to Tokyo?
Exactly. Just wrestle it from the execs to here. You're a good 2 foot taller than them. Just storm into the headquarters.
Don't need to care about Godzilla this year. It's going to be Bobzilla hitting Tokyo.
So thanks for listening if you made it this far.
Cheers. Then we'll catch you next time, I guess.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye. Thank fuck.
Hurry up then.
Disgusting.
Bye.
Love my sister, Vaya.